We're in Fort Sill, Oklahoma for the PBA Regional Practice Session. We're going to talk about what professionals do during a practice session to help them score a little bit better during the tournaments. Ryan Barnes, Eric Jones, TJ Rock, all these guys have bowled many tour events or have bowled at college at the highest level. We're going to ask our friends what they do, and I'll tell you what I do during a 2-hour practice session. What do you look for during a 2-hour practice session?
Most of the practice sessions are about physical game more than the actual lane pattern because they don't play anything like the practice session.
So do you try and figure out like what balls are going to look good at all, or is it basically all about like how you're throwing it and getting ready for the weekend physically?
It's more about physically. My core stays the core basically no matter what pattern. So there's some balls I'll roll out that are the outliers, but I have 20.
20?
Yeah.
And how many come in the building?
I have 14 now.
Yeah.
If I see something, I'll bring some others in. But
yeah. For me, of the 2 hours, maybe the first half hour will be physical. My swing in the right spot, trying to get my feet underneath me, and then from there, mine will be all about bowling balls. Trying to knock out, 3 to 4 of those bowling balls. So I go from a 12-ball arsenal that I brought in the building to a 6, 7, or 8-ball arsenal that I think I have a chance of throwing for the weekend. I think I brought 12, but I brought them all in. What else I want to win this election season with our brand new merch, Hanrahan Williams 2024 2 hands are better than 1 merch. If you guys don't like 2-handers, I would say that's too bad, but it's actually perfect because we also have a shirt for you right up here. Real bowlers use their thumb. So check out our merch on housebowling.com, link up top. 10% discount on all of your merch, whether you're like in favor of 2 hands or in favor of thumb users. Use code 2HANDS, that's the number 2, HANDS, for 10% off your entire order, no matter what kind of merch you want. 2 hands. So for all you thumb users, sorry, that's the code. We're 17 minutes in, game feels pretty good. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna try and kind of sort through my bowling balls where I'm looking for ones that I might throw and then ones that I'm definitely not gonna throw. And the ones that I'm definitely not gonna throw, I don't really need to bring into the building. After just some shots going down the lane, I don't think urethane's gonna be too big of a play. Obviously, I'm gonna need to have 1 or 2 in the building no matter what, but I don't think I'm gonna need all 3, and I certainly don't think that it's gonna be the play for sure tomorrow, where usually you can tell immediately if it's gonna definitely be the play. So it's gonna be a toss up in the air, but right now we got probably over the next 45 minutes, I'll probably see what balls I'm not gonna throw. Zigzag is for sure going to be in the bag. Criterion looked pretty good. The Pure Envy looked pretty good. I think they fit a very similar spot, so I'm going to bring them both in the building tomorrow. You definitely can't play the gutter, and anytime you miss left, no matter where you're throwing it, it's going to have a really hard time coming back in the pocket. So that's what we're learning a little bit about the pattern, kind of the general zones to play, which is another thing that we look for. It's like, what balls am I not going to throw for sure, and then what zone of the lane are we probably going to play? I'm not going to be able to throw it over the exact same arrow with the exact same ball tomorrow, but I am going to be able to play a similar break point down lane. Through the Ethos Hybrid, the Cuda, and the Mantra, which was kind of like the balls in the middle of my bag. Cuda looks pretty good, the Ethos looks pretty good. The next couple balls I'm gonna throw the Vibe, I'm gonna throw that Stealth Hybrid, just to see if shiny balls are the play. I'm probably gonna try and play a little straighter, and then I'm gonna throw the urethane balls and see what they do. It's all about knocking balls out of the bag, and right now, that mantra is just a big question mark. And the scoring pace always comes into play when making decisions. If the scores are going to be pretty low, I just have to find balls that hit the pocket more often. And for right now, that Ethos Hybrid as well as that Super CUDA both look really good. So we got shots to throw and decisions to make. What do you do during a 2-hour practice?
So like I bowled once this week, so there's some physical in it. Part of it too is just seeing what part of the lane I'm going to play. Maybe what balls it's going to be or what types of balls. So like this Hitter Pearl looks really good right now. Maybe tomorrow it's a Stealth Hybrid instead if they hook more. If they hook a little less, it might be a Black Widow 2.0 hybrid. Just depends. So that's what I look for.
Narrowed it down to 9 balls that I'm going to leave in the building, 3 balls I'm going to take out back to my car, 6 that I'm going to carry around with me pair to pair. It's going to be Zigzag Solid or Pure Envy tomorrow. I'm going to bring that Ethos Hybrid in the building as well, that Super CUDA. Also going to bring the Vibe for my 5th ball and a plastic ball. The Vibe is really the just in case. It'll probably be those 4 balls, and then the 3 other balls in the building that I'm going to bring and just leave in the paddock. I'm gonna leave the Mantra in the paddock, I'm gonna leave the Criterion in the paddock, and I'm also going to leave my urethane ball in the paddock just in case. I know the urethane ball is probably gonna hit the pocket no matter what. I just think with the way the pattern is, it's just not really gonna strike enough. And now that we have an hour left of practice, I'm gonna move around pair to pair with those 6 balls. And since we're bowling through the entire bowling center tomorrow, I'm gonna kind of start on the high end, go to the low end, and finish around the middle with the 6 balls that I plan on bringing, seeing if there's any like characteristical differences between the high, middle, and low end of the building. That way I know tomorrow when I move from my first pair, which is the end pair, all the way down to the low end, I know kind of it should be a little tighter or it should hook a little more. So now that there's an hour left, I'll kind of jump around the building and see what hooks more, what hooks less, and kind of a little bit about what to expect from the center tomorrow, not the pattern. So the whole first hour was really the pattern, and the second hour is going to be more about what the center does.
Recently, I've been trying to throw everything. The way I've been going about things is I'll start with the reactive balls, and I'll probably spend like an hour 45 just throwing anything, everywhere, doing whatever, trying to find the right shape. And then I'll throw urethane and realize that that's what I need to do on the next day. And then we'll figure that out in the last 15 minutes.
So is it more about where to play on the lanes or what balls to throw?
I mean, it's both. Like, you know, looking for misroom. So it's where to play on the lane. I think recently I've been kind of wanting to see which reactive balls I can get a little slower with and around it. See if I can, you know, get them through the fronts but still pick up in that kind of 25-foot range. That's what I'm really looking for. So, yeah, that's it.
And then you spend 15 minutes throwing urethane and aborting all game plans?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it's been going. Everything ends up playing 5 with a black hammer. Maybe not this weekend. I don't think that's what this pattern wants us to do.
I definitely don't think
so. Now it's all, I don't think I'm going to touch a urethane ball today. I like the reactive. On fresh, I kind of like the Zigzag Solid. It lets me stay in front of it, but also kind of get a chuggier motion. And then whenever that goes away, it looks terrible when my feet get right at 20. So I'll get into like a Super CUDA or a Ethos Hybrid. Both those are a little rounder, but a little cleaner shapes. They don't turn over too quick. So those are good. I can get a little slower with my feet and a little bit steeper.
Okay, I got a question, because my lineup, I just finished talking over there about the balls I'm going to bring. I'm going to throw the Zigzag to start, maybe the Pure Envy, then it's definitely the Ethos or the Super CUDA. Where does the Ethos and Super CUDA fit for you? Because for me, I think my Super CUDA is smoother and earlier. I'm not sure yet.
I know my Ethos outflares the Super CUDA by an inch per line.
Yeah,
so
same.
I know the core wants to see it a little earlier. They're kind of similar covers. The Ethos seems to be a little cleaner of a cover, but the core is just so much bigger that the Super CUDA holds line a little bit longer. It's better like earlier, but I mean they fit in the same spot. The Ethos is just a bigger shape to me.
Right. Yeah, I felt like with the Ethos I could get further right and still have a good chance to strike, where the CUDA was more speed sensitive for me, where I had to throw it slower to actually get it to make that same shape.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely both want the same thing out of me. I think have similar issues. I have to be a little slower to get them to blend out. But with the Super CUDA, it'll want to shoot through it. With the Ethos, it'll want to go sideways down lane. But both of them are a little, same thing.
Now you better strike. I'm only taking one clip from you in this entire vlog, so let's go.
The whole vlog, what do I throw? Down in the comments.
Down in the comments, which ball is he? He said he was throwing everything. I've only seen him throw the zigzag, and I've seen him throw about 1,000 shots with it so far.
Super CUDA?
This is one of my favorite balls currently.
This thing is sick. So sick. Shows up. Feet are shaky.
What about that Ethos? I said I was only going to get one shot. I'm going to get two.
Okay.
I want to see what yours does. Mine's a little cleaner, but also a little bigger.
I'm going to retract a little bit. This one's definitely cleaner. I was on it down here. The Super CUDA was seeing it. This thing I was leaving 2.6/7.
It seems cleaner, but it definitely goes a little more sideways than the Super CUDA.
Yeah.
I have to get around that one to get it to hook down there.
Really?
A little bit. What?
I moved one.
You move one right or left?
Right. Made sure to get a little steeper because I know it's going to make it back.
Yeah.
Super CUDA's better from a little forward angle. For the people.
For the people. Eric's favorite ball. 6.5-inch pin.
You can't go wrong with 6.5. It's the special number.
You're a psychopath.
It doesn't get better than that.
Strike 9? I'll take it.
I'll take it. In a roll off, that's winning.
Well, appreciate it. Thanks. Thanks for letting me in on your practice plan. I got to switch everything that I was doing. Shooter. Bowled on all ends of the house right now. I've bowled on the high end, the middle, and now the low end. It seems like the high end actually is a little tighter than the rest of the house. We got about 10 minutes left of practice. I'm gonna shoot some spares and then call it a day. Maybe I'll ask somebody else, like maybe Dio Bernard, what their 2 hours of practice has been filled up with so far. So I've been asking all the pros that are here, I've been asking them what they do during a 2 hour practice session, what they look for.
I feel like the biggest thing is trying to get comfortable. If you're not comfortable, it's hard to see what your ball's doing. But the biggest thing is like trying to see where your ball hooks early. Because I feel like if your ball's hooking too early or not hooking enough, it's the biggest difference from trying to create area on the lane. So I just go from ball to ball and just try to see where my ball's hooking and try to find like there's a little shim down lane or there's like an early hook spot. Maybe I can use it to my advantage.
So you look for early hook to try and use?
Pretty much, yeah. Okay. And then just see from there. So.
And you spend the whole 2 hours kind of just sifting through balls. Do you move pairs at all, or?
Usually I go like every pair I can because I feel like I want to get the most variety and most like biggest example. So I'll just go from pair to pair and then see from there.
You got plenty of good insight. You're a professional, Dio. Professional. You got a tour title. Cheetah champ. You got to be doing something right to win on tour, right? All right, well, we just finished up and you guys saw kind of the 9 balls that I'm looking to bring forward with me to the tournament this weekend. And the 6 that I'm going to bring out on the lane are really the most important. I don't think, I'll keep 9 in the building, but really 6 are going to go out with me to the lanes. And those 6 are going to be the Zigzag, that Pure Envy, a spare ball, the Criterion, which I don't know how much lane time it'll get, and then the Ethos Hybrid and the Super Cuda. Those balls were just the ones that look best for me this week. Kind of my thought process going through, I really just tried to eliminate some of those shapes and balls that I knew really weren't going to get played down the lane. And then the other 3 that were on the fence, probably not going to get thrown. That would be the Mantra. It looked good, but I just don't know if there's going to be enough hook for me to throw that ball. But there weren't a ton of righties here practicing. So when there's a bunch of righties coming and a bunch of righties throwing shots down the lane, maybe I will need something shiny, which is why I also put the Arctic Vibe in the bag, just in case. Kind of that last minute escape plan, as well as a urethane ball, which I think has no chance of going down the lane. But for me, that was kind of my 2 hours of practice. That's what that's what a professional bowler does, like myself, in practice. I work on my physical game for about 15 minutes, and then I kind of search around through what not to do and what balls I'm going to kick out of the lineup. And then for the last hour of practice, I'll kind of cross as many lanes as I can, maybe 4 or 5 pairs of lanes from the high end all the way down to the low end, just seeing if there's any tendencies in the center that I should be aware of as I'm switching pairs tomorrow. And then of course, the last 10 minutes, I shoot some spares just to make sure my spare game's still in check. So that is 2 hours of practice with me. Maybe it can help. The goal of this vlog series, I'm switching it up a little bit, and the goal of this vlog series, like I mentioned earlier, is to hopefully give you guys some insight and help you guys maybe figure out your 2 hour practice or your 15-minute practice session a little better on, and maybe score a little bit higher when you guys go to tournaments. So let me know if you like this vlog and what you guys want to see in tomorrow's vlog, and maybe tomorrow's topic during the tournament will be what you pick. So look forward to tomorrow and bringing you guys a new mindset and a new vlog. Peace.